So, coupons, Klaviyo. So the way it works is you first have to have your list and segments already set up, right? So if we look at this, we have list and segments, and then we have to pick which one of these we're going to use. So if we look at this, we're going to use newsletter because we want people to sign up on our pop-up, right? So the newsletter is the segment we're going to create. If there's nothing in here, you create a list here, and you create newsletter. Then this code is going to be needed to be added to your site, either in the footer as a pop-up. So in this case, we're going to use it as a pop-up. So sign up forms, we'll create a sign up form. And then if you look at this, we have this one called first order discount. Create sign up form, and then it's going to take you to this page where you create your sign up form, and you're going to select your style. So you can select what kind of pop-up you want, if you want a pop-up, if you want it to fly out from the right or left, or if you want to embed it in the bottom of the site or the side of the site or whatever. Then you have your custom sizes, no side image, left side image, right side image, and then you select it and you can pick your image by just clicking here, and you'll be able to upload your image. Image size small, display on mobile, they're saying no. Form background's white, background image, you have all these little options and stuff, pretty self-explanatory. And then if you want to change the copy over here, you can go ahead and just select it and use this WYSIWYG editor for specials and signups and then unlock offer. Well, if you look at this, I'll go ahead and click on this guy right here for the button action, right? So the button's in here, and now you've got these actions. You're going to close the form, go to URL, subscribe via MS. You want to submit the form. So if we're not going to submit the form, we can submit the form, and the list to submit to is going to be newsletter. So you may have multiple lists in here. We wanted to go to the newsletter, so it goes to newsletter. After submit, show the next step. So if we're going to show a next step, we need to actually configure the next step. So we don't have a next step set up yet, right? So if you look at this, we can actually set this up so it closes the form. So it's not going to have a next step. Okay, so then we'll just have the email opt-in, and then this would say subscribe. You click here and you could change it to subscribe. Right now it says unlock offer, and you could change that. So if you just wanted to have this one pop-up, have them email and then subscribe, that would be it. So if we're going to send them to the next step, we have to select next step, okay? And then you got these hidden fields, you know, value, your first order discount, whatever. So we got the button text and everything that controls the way it looks. But the next step, we actually have to go to this step here and create a step. So we have to figure out how we want to do this. Do we want to ask for more information? Do we want to do a blank step? So if we put more information, you're going to get their rest of their name, James, you know, James, and the address and whatever else you want. Or you can do a blank step and hit add step, and what it's going to do is going to give you this blank field over here. So if you want, you can start, you know, working on this to see how this is going to look for you. You're going to go ahead and click on this image, and you can go ahead and add the image again. In this case, we have a nice large image. You want to make sure that the images are kind of big. If I set it to contain, what it'll do is it's going to fill it inside the window here. If I select cover, then you always want to make sure there's an alt tag on it. So in this case, everything should have the alt tag, right? You don't want to rely on any apps and stuff that's internal. So now I've got the next step. So this next step, I could either choose to give them the coupon code right here, or I can not. I can tell them to just check their, I'm ready to subscribe. You know, you'll receive a coupon, via email, whatever you want to say, and then change this to subscribe. So instead of showing next step on this, this would say subscribe, and then you can say close form here, right? And we're going to submit the form. So it's going to submit the form, and then it's going to close the form. So this right here is going to say, please subscribe below, and you will receive coupon via email, or whatever you want to say. You don't really even have to do this part, this next step. This next step is for you to actually offer them additional information. Now, the unfortunate thing with pop-ups on any of these systems is you can't create a dynamic coupon code. So if you had a code that you wanted and you wanted it to change each time somebody went to this pop-up, it doesn't work. The dynamic coupons only work in the email flows. So let me just exit this flow here, and I'm going to show you how this works. So we've created our coupon down here. We went to coupons, and then we created a Shopify coupon. We called it first order, right? And it has no prefix. You don't need that. We got a percentage. We got 10% off entire order, and then we got it activates at the time it's sent, and then it doesn't expire ever. So that's really the only basics that you have for the actual order. Now, in order to create dynamic codes, you have to actually go here and create add codes. Now, before you create this number of codes, you have to think about how this coupon is going to be used. So this particular coupon is going to be used for just the pop-up. So you don't really need to generate dynamic codes because it doesn't work with the pop-up, right? But it does work with the flow. So if you were to create a campaign, a brand new campaign, like say you're going to a month down the road, you're going to send it to all the new subscribers, right? So you're going to create a new campaign, and then you're going to actually send out to those users. Well, you can create a coupon, and you can create a dynamic coupon, right? And say you have 500 subscribers on that list. You want to create 500 codes, right? So you're going to put in here 500 and hit add codes. Now, there's a little thing with Klaviyo and stuff when you generate a lot of coupon codes and things like that. So you're going to want to look at their help documents on that, and you should have it's help.klaviyo.com, and you can actually get all the information about how to deal with high numbers of coupon codes and things like that. So and there'll be one-time codes that'll just be dynamic. They work once and they'll die, right? So and that's how you set up the coupon, right? When you set up the coupon, if I was to do that for the campaign, I would say that it expires after a certain number of days or hours on a specific date. So if I send out a campaign, I tell people that they need to use it by March 1st, and then so I'll select here on a specific date and put the date in here. So if they don't use it and we send out the email blast, right, then they're SOL. So we want to, if we are sending out campaigns and we have some kind of sense of urgency, we only want to make the expiration dates maybe a few days, or that day, but usually a few days after. You don't want to go 2 weeks. You don't want to go a month out, whatever. You want to do it a couple of days so there's some kind of sense of urgency for them to use the coupon. Okay, so now we got coupons. So I'm not going to go ahead and generate add codes because I'm creating a pop-up, right, for the newsletter for the homepage. So now if I look at this, I don't really need this next step for any reason. So I'm going to go ahead and remove it. Unless you want to add it, you can. So if I was to do subscribe again, it would close the form, it would add them onto the newsletter, and then it closes the page and they can start shopping. So I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to get rid of it, hit delete. You can add it if you want, right? And then this one here is the SMS information stuff. So get exclusive text only offers, get access. So this is what kind of people would see if they're going to opt in for SMS. So we're doing email right now. So if you want to unlock the offer, whatever your next step is going to be, great. So if they say no thanks, then it's going to close the form, right? All right, so I'm not going to publish this yet because I don't want it live on my site yet. Now, you have to install a little snippet of code with Klaviyo in order to get this to work, and it's already working. So right now, this already shows me that it's saved. I can click on exit. So now that I have exited, it's not active yet. See how it's not green? So if this was active and live, this would be green. So if I select here, I'm going to select edit form, and I have to select publish in order for this to turn green. So once that's green, let's just do an example here. Let me just go edit form, and then let me publish it. Okay, so let's take a look here. You're about to save and publish sign up appear on your website. Make sure you've linked terms. You have linked your terms of service and privacy policy, and the disclosure text is accurate. Your form clarity is not offer legal. Blah blah blah. All right, whatever. So we will do that, but we're not going to do it for now. So now you see that it's live. I just wanted to show you this. I hit exit, and now you'll see that it's green. So if I go to the front of this website. And it's going to wait 30 seconds. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 16, 17. It's kind of a long time. So let's see, we're going down, let's hang out, let's look at it some more. Okay. All right, so probably going to have to shorten that period of time for the pop-up. Oh, there it is. Okay, so now we got get 10% off your first order. Sign up. All right, so I'm gonna put in here James. Now, this is gonna send me an email now, right? So if I select unlock offer, it's gonna add me to the newsletter, right? And that's all it's gonna do. So I don't want to do this yet because I need to do the flow, right? I need to make a flow of what's going to happen when I'm added to the newsletter. So now I've got this enabled. Now I'm going to go to flows, and then I would create a flow. So in this case, we've already got one here, and you can look at all the ideas here. So we have a newsletter sign up, and notice it's orange. It's not active yet, so we need to edit this flow. So if we look at this one has some stuff already started in here. You can click on each of these things and see where the trigger is. So if we look at this, the flow trigger in this case is newsletter. So, and this takes us right to our segment. So let me go back, let me close that. So this list is newsletter, and then flow filters redirect the flow to only certain people. So we can mess around and do whatever we want in that case. So if you look at this, it goes down this page, and then we want to do a conditional split because what's happening here is if it's an existing customer, we want to say thanks for subscribing. But if it's somebody who is not a customer and hasn't ordered yet, we want to send them a welcome email and say, here's 10% off your first order. So this is where we're going to actually put the manual verbiage and the code in here. So if you look in here, this newsletter right now, we can actually use a dynamic coupon for this. So if I wanted to create a bunch of coupons in here for the dynamic coupon, I can do that. So the way that that's done is first we'll go ahead and click on thanks for subscribing, and then we can go ahead and click on edit, and we'll see what this looks like. So hey, awesome, you're in, aloha, what can you expect? And it's all this little stuff, and that looks great. And or we can change how it looks. We say edit content, and then we can mess around with the way this thing looks. So I like the way this looks. I put aloha on here, and you can put images and other stuff. So I'm going to select save and return. If I just select save content, it'll keep me on the page. So if you notice here, this says manual. So right now I have to manually send this to somebody. It's not live, right? So if I wanted to, right, I could send this. You got email, SMS, right? Email, update profile, notification, time. This is the flow of what happens. So if I change this to, and notice how I'm clicking off, and then I click on, I can click on it again, and it highlights it. And then it gives me all of the information. It says, thanks for subscribing. This is the actual text that they're going to get, right, in their email. So, thank you for subscribing. And in this case, we'd say to Miracle Botanicals. Okay. And there we go. And then you got your delivery, click-through rates, smart sending, UTM tracking. This stuff here is a little more advanced, and you can look it up in there if you want. So if you're doing certain types of campaigns and you want to track each individual thing, you can do that. I can select done here, and it takes me back to this little thing here. Now, I want this to be automated, right? So I would actually turn this to live, and then that would be live on the website. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it on now. One moment, you turn your first email live, people entering the flow, what's next? I'm going to put dismiss, and then I'm going to go to turn these off in a minute. So the next one is if I have not ordered and I go here, welcome, here's your first order, welcome, here's 10% off your first order. Now I need to edit this because I don't have a coupon code in here right now. So if I get down in here, you're going to see here, edit, and notice what I ended up doing. Hey blank, we're glad you're here. What can you expect? You're an insider, blah, blah, blah. Use code first order for 10% off your first purchase. Yeah, that's cool. I could do that. Or I could set up like 1,000 if I want to. So I could either use the main coupon and just give that to everybody. But the problem with that is somebody's going to send it to someone else and they'll get 10% off. So if you want to create that dynamic coupon now, you can go back, and I keep multiple windows open to this guy just so you could bounce around a little bit. So if you go over here and you look at the coupons again, you're going to click coupons, and then you can generate, I'm not going to do it, but you would add codes. So I'd say I'm going to add 500 there, right? It's going to generate 500 coupon codes for me. But now in order for it to show up inside this flow, I have to put a little dynamic code right here. And that code, Let's see where that guy is. And let's see, it is right here. So this code is coupon code, name of your coupon. So that's all it is, percentage, coupon code, name of your coupon. So we'll go back into and add it inside of here. Now the thing with this is we haven't generated the actual dynamic coupons yet. So what I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and put it here. So if you decide to, and then this is going to be called name of your coupon. So this needs to be called first order, right? Order. And then I'm going to take this one out. And then you could stylize this. You could highlight it. And then you could bold it. And you can make it a color. All right, so it's going to be use code blank for 10% off your first purchase. Now remember, I have to go to the coupon codes, and I actually have to create those dynamic codes. Otherwise, someone's going to get an email, and it's going to show this code in there if they don't have the code, right? So they would still probably end up using just the word first order to get 10%. So it's going to look weird. So right now, this coupon code will not work. I'm going to put it in here, and I'm going to just show you how this looks. Hit save. There we go. So now this is in here. I could go save content, and I could keep working on this and look at it, and it looks all pretty. And there, first order preview, right? Right now I can go to done. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make this live. So that's live. And then what's going to happen is it's going to wait 3 days. After, I have my, how many days you want to wait. You can wait 2, 3 hours, whatever, minutes, right? And then you come down to the social media. So right now we got this next thing. It's going to be follow us here. Follow us on social media, Miracle Botanicals, blah, 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 right? So then we're going to go ahead and edit this. Again, can't seem to get enough, blah, 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 stay inspired, right? And then you also have the little sales message, which is really cool. So there's some of this stuff's already set up, which is great. We'll select done. Right now, that's not turned on. If you notice, it's manual, right? So it's all manually done. So let me go back to here. Refresh the page. Let's wait for that thing. I think that's a little long for that pop-up to show up, but it gives people time to look at the website. Oh, here's another one. There we go. So you could trigger it. I added a little trigger down there. So let's just put me in here. And then let's see what I get. So get exclusive. So then you get the text pop up. You see that? So I don't want the text deals. I'm going to say no thanks. And then it just closes it. Right? So I'm going to check my email on my phone because I don't want to show my email in this video. Okay, Klaviyo hasn't automated. It does take a little time for me to get that, so I'm going to actually go in and take those out of automations. But you understand what's going to happen. So I'm going to go ahead and just put these back to manual. Put this one back This went back to manual. Okay, now it's back where it was. Save and exit, and then Jackie can you can edit it however you need to.